Maybe in a minute here. Oh, there we go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Inclusion Matters podcast with Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Tonight, we are joined with Hold My Beer Hanson, and I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Crippled Messiah and Principal Tapass are going to be running this interview tonight. So if it sounds like paint drying and it sounds like a crazy train, I apologize for that. But the Heartbreaker does have other things to do promotional wise. So I will join in when I can. Again, I'm joined with Crippled Messiah, who, is just an okay average Joe that sounds like paint drying because, he's a huge fan of that orange juice loving Orange Cassidy, who I hope gets his ass handed to him today in Chicago by John Moxley. That's just my personal opinion. Tapass, dude, your Dodgers can't even beat my Braves. You have nothing to say. In fact, I should be the one as a Braves fan to put your ass in detention.
Wow, he is really talking some mad heat. Y'all just gonna let him run over you like that? Man.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm in a wheelchair. Wait till I get in that chair, and I'll be the one doing the running over. I'll tell you that right now.
I hope you run over just his pinky toe. Only the pinky toe.
I think I can make that happen.
So, before I let this interview happen, we need to thank Bruno's Pizza and Kevin Wasson, American Family Insurance, along with Kathy's Clutters and Event Center. So, I will turn this over to Hold My Beer Hanson. Please let us know about yourself. And then, boys, have a great interview.
Yep.
All right. As I introduce myself, my name is Hold My Beer Hanson. I am one third of the All-Star Special. We are a trios group here in the Southeast, based out of Georgia. So we wrestle in Florida, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. We have yet to debut in the Carolinas. I really need to. We do Alabama, and we've been to West Virginia. But enough of that. Really, the main thing is here is we do a lot of great things in terms of like merch sales and getting out there with the kids and being heroes and doing that extra mile in terms of outside the ring to where it's a lasting memory and we create amazing things for people to remember for days to come. And yeah, sometimes we wrestle. Yeah, we do wrestling sometimes.
Very cool. That kind of sounds like what our mission statement's going to be for Inclusion Pro Wrestling, which is what the Heartbreaker's working on right now. As I
Okay.
said before, I'm in a wheelchair, so and
Yeah.
my the mission statement with inclusion, because besides me, two other people on our board of directors have disabilities,
Hmm.
and so we're not going to turn anybody away, and we just want to give disabled people and anybody that wants to have a chance to live their dream, you know, that chance.
That sounds
Because
awesome.
20 years ago, I was told I wouldn't do anything in wrestling because I was disabled. Because of my
There's a job
wheelchair.
for anybody in this business.
Absolutely. And so that's kind of what we want to do is, be that like kind of step forward as the promotion and
Yeah. For my shoot job, actually, I'm a employment specialist. I help people with IDD uh, gain and retain employment. So, yeah, I work for a company that does really great things and helps people live the lives they want to live. And, we do residential and community support, and I'm the employment division, but we do a lot of awesome things. And honestly, like, it's such a heartwarming and rewarding job that I wouldn't trade it for the world. Also, the benefits are awesome because I work for the state and helps me out, in case I end up, breaking my neck.
exactly. So the first question we have is, who were your wrestling heroes growing up?
My first memory is Stone Cold being thrown off the bridge by The Rock with the Intercontinental title. My dad was a beer drinking, Marlboro Red smoking, hardworking dude. Is a hardworking dude. Um, and he sounds like Stone Cold. So Stone Cold was my first hero. On the WCW side, of course, I love Diamond Dallas Page because just the fireworks and the bang. Um, when it got later on down the road, I started really liking guys like Triple H when I got older. I hated Triple H as a kid because like he was dastardly. I loved as soon as like DX started up again. The 2003 2005 area. Yeah. That was a great time. CM Punk was one of them, and Kevin Owens. Like Kevin Owens is actually one of the first ones that got me to where I was like, okay, I think I can do something like this. And it's not because I'm a bigger dude and have a beard and kind of look like Kevin Owens. It's more like I liked his attitude, and it was like fun watching it. I tell he was having fun, and that was the biggest part for me.
Absolutely. All right, Tap, what do you got?
Your top 5 giants of all time.
Giants. Oh, well, give me Big Show for number 1 for sure. Actually, let me start for number 5. Number 5, Giants. We're talking about people like 6'8" and maybe above. Um, does massive as in terms of the width also count? Because
Yes, that would count.
Viscera was wild. Like I saw him through a wheelbarrow kick, and it was like it's the wildest thing I've ever seen. Like, put Viscera in there, number 5. Give me Giants. Throw in Test because Test was massive, and then I'll throw Kane number 3, Undertaker number 2 because he was tall, because and then Big Show because Giants. That's the Giants I grew up with.
Very nice. So, what made you want to become a professional wrestler? Like, what was it besides watching it, obviously, that made you say, "Hey, man, this is something
I tell this story a lot, and it's honestly just it's how it happened. My grandfather passed in 2018, and going to the funeral and coming back, and we were all sitting around drinking beer and everything, telling stories. I was a young dude just working a 9 to 5 job, and that was the only thing I was doing, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. And I needed something that was just gonna get me like that extra taste of life. And eventually I run into like after the funeral, my dad's best friend Mike. He said, "Hey man, why don't you get into that wrestling stuff? You love it so much. Why don't you? You're a big dude. Get in there." And so I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So eventually I found a dude at the gym. His name was Pure Goodness, and he pointed me towards the wrestling school. And I learned a little bit. I got with Day Too Strong and Brock the Croc there and started learning. And eventually we all started riding together and going for shows. And things just like we got with a good guy and Matt Hankins, which is basically our father for wrestling. And he led us to the right directions. We got trained to bump. We got trained to do the basic stuff, work a few shows for free. But the guy that kind of was training us, he just stayed inside and played video games. So, it took a lot for us to just go and take the knowledge we had and just try as hard as we could just to do good. And, we just kept pushing each other more and more and more. And what we have today. It's honestly, I just wanted to be that guy that I didn't want to say, I wish I would have. I wanted to say, do you remember when I did this? And that's been the basic driving force. I don't want to say I missed out on opportunities. I want to say that, remember when I did that really cool thing? And I just go for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing.
That's a great story.
Thank you.
All right, Tap, what do you got?
Your top 5 tag teams of all time.
Top 5 tag teams. Man, I'm gonna go Dudley's number one. It's just like they did a lot of great, neat things. Really neat. I mean, they were champs all over the place, but also it's just like it was just cool seeing them. Um, 2, I go with Road Warriors. 3, the New Day, because they're the most massive, successful merch sellers I've ever seen in my life, and I base a lot of the stuff we do around them. Um, Tag teams. I honestly I enjoyed the 2-man power trip, Stone Cold and Triple H. Uh,
Yep.
and beer money for TNA. Just a great time.
Yeah, good list. Uh, top 5 male wrestlers of all time.
Of all time, so I'm doing my around Mount Rushmore plus 1. Give me
Yeah.
Give me Steve Austin. Always, it's always going to be my pick. John Cena, because he just did so many great things. Ric Flair. Give me Undertaker because he was just such an influential and had such longevity. And we'll throw in Hulk Hogan at the end.
Very nice. All right, Tap, what do you got?
All right, if you could have one dream opponent to wrestle, who would it be and why?
Uh, did you catch that question or?
Yeah, I'm trying to think hard on it because that's. I mean, if I'm talking people that would like just bookmark and say I'm done. Um, dream opponent would end up having to be be all. I could probably say someone like Kevin Owens. I could say someone. Uh, right now, I do love Malachi Black. Like that'd be one of those end all be all matches. I'm just like I love it. Those guys like that. Eddie Kingston, Brody King would be dope. Um, there's a big list of guys that just would like blow my mind if I ever got the chance to get in there with them. But those are probably my main ones right there.
Got ya. So, how did your finisher come to be?
Uh, so the singles or the tag?
How about both?
Okay, singles. So we were out there and I was training. Like I was still when I was starting out. We was messing around. Everybody else had like cool things like lariats and super kicks, stuff like that. And I was like, I'm a baby face. I need something quick and can get the job done. And I think Drew McIntyre was on top time. And I was like, I think I could definitely do the Claymore. And I was like, let me do something cool with it. And I was like, let's just name it the Rockets Red Glare because I was carrying an American flag around the time and wearing, red, white, and blue and all that. Just easy pops for everybody because they just knew that, hey, USA chants were coming up. And for our tag finish, it varied for a while because we just, we were 2 singles guys coming together. And eventually we started working towards what big moves we could do to put them away. And since we're bigger guys than a lot of the people that we face, we wanted to go for high impact and to use our weight to our advantage. So the first one we did was the scatter smother covered, which is Huck goes in for a sunset flip. I catch a cross body, 2 people pinning you at once. There's no way you're escaping. And the other one is over easy, which is a double uranagi. And I think we came up with one where it's a deep 6. I just catch the dude, boom, spin him up, plant him down, and Huck hits the best moonsault ever because, Huck does the amazing flips and everything like that. He's the high flyer of the group, even though looking twice my size.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And I
Yeah.
love the idea of all those moves, by the way. So
Thank you. We didn't really work that hard for him, but we understood what we had the assignment for, and it was awesome.
sounds like it. All right, Tab, what do you got?
All right. What is your favorite cookie or snack?
Favorite cookie? Well, I'm going to put a definition here for everybody. I like calling soft cookies that are like just getting done out of the oven, but they're not fully done. I call those medium rare. So give me any medium rare chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, or white chocolate macadamia nut, and it's amazing. If I'm gonna go buy something like that, I'm gonna go to Subway because those cookies smack every time. Um, yeah, those are probably my top cookies right there. If a snack, man, I don't know. I really just enjoy something like gummies. I just like gummy snacks are pretty dope.
Very nice. So, what's the craziest match you've ever been in?
I was in a no rope steel cage match with Brad Cash, Jacob Ashworth, and my tag partner Azriel for Anarchy Wrestling. Um, and this match was a mix of a death match and your hardcore elements. There was syringes, there was gusset plates, uh, there was a flaming table, thumbtacks on a table, just everything that could happen. A woman jumped off the top of the cage at us. I took a woman and headbutted her as hard as I could while I was bleeding, and she fell to the floor. And I just stood up and looked at an old lady that was telling me I was going to go to hell. And I said, "You're next."
I'm sorry, that sounds awesome, actually. In the contest of the
It
match, not headbutting.
it was awesome. I enjoyed every minute of it. I felt like I came into a new level of being a heel. Um, that was my only chance at being a heel and a piece of trash that could garner that much hatred that people wanted to jump over the guardrail and try to kill me. Um, it was amazing.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. All right, Tap, what do you got?
What is your worst injury you've sustained in the industry?
I've had two of the same injury. I think one is just re-aggravating. My initial injury was I picked up a buddy of mine, brother Azrael, and tried to put him on my shoulders, and I lifted him improperly, and so I basically turned my L4 and L5 and made them like this, and it made it
Oh,
where it was so unbearable to walk. My right leg was on fire all the time. It was like asleep and on fire. It was basically what's the word they gave me? Eh, yeah, I forget. It starts with S or something like that. But it was just terrible. I hated sciatica. It was sciatica. I had sciatica in my right leg, and it just made it unbearable to walk. I would get done with matches and just cry and lay on the floor. When I re-aggravated it, it was a lot worse, but I still had to work through it no matter what. So when I re-aggravated it, I don't know what match it was, but most of the year of 2021, I was in pain. And so, or is it 22? I can't remember. But most matches, I would go out there, the adrenaline would flow, I would get bumping, and I'd be fine. But as soon as all the adrenaline wore off, I'd hit the ground and I'd have to just stay there, and it would just be a like miserable experience for me. And finally, I got double power bombed by the Dawson brothers, and it's like that scene in The Incredibles when the robot pulled him and fixed his back, and he's like, oh, I can breathe. Everything was fine, and it was amazing.
wow.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest chiropractor appointment you'd ever have.
I mean, my chiropractor wasn't getting the job done, so I said, "Hey, man, I just got to get something." I told the dudes, I said, "I'm fine taking the bump. Bumping makes me feel better," and they powerbombed me, and everything felt great. I was able to walk out with no problems.
I love that story because they say wrestling doesn't accomplish it. I've heard people say, "Oh, wrestling's just that." No, look, wrestling just fixed your back. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts people. It really hurts a lot of people, but at that moment, it helped me tremendously.
There you go. All right, Tap.
All right. What advice would you give an up and coming new wrestler or manager?
From someone, I can't really say do like because my rookie year, I did something that a lot of people don't like to do and probably shouldn't do. So my rookie year, I took off and I became entertainer of the year, male entertainer of the year for Georgia. Um, I was steady, just promoting myself day after day, just trying to get in anybody's DMs, trying to push my stuff, trying to get my character out there. And that's the things you should do daily. There should be content for yourself going out there that can help you grow. Um, but while that was going on, I was neglecting myself in ring. So for those that are not creatively inclined and don't have much of a character, I would highly suggest to you, please just get matches. You can wear the basic gear. You can show up, say, "Hey, I'm just looking for work," and you can get matches where you're getting putting guys over and getting over by going out there and working and learning the business. I would say find that vet, find the vet that's a learning tree and is willing to give out that type of knowledge, but don't hang yourself on them to where if they cut the cord, your whole career's over. Just listen to what they're saying, but don't hang on everything like it's your dying breath. There's so much that I've learned just the 4 years I've been wrestling that I've gotten a lot of cheeks by working with Huck. He has been 18 years in the business and he has taught me and Jay so much. And it's a case where I know I have a very good teacher and I have people that are looking out for me. But for the young guys that are just starting, learn the basics, get bumping, get understanding how to work first. Go out there and be a business, but be a sponge. Learn from those guys. Even if you're not wrestling on that show up, be dedicated, and listen to those vets in the back. Or even just go out there and actually, no, listen to the guys in the back. And if they don't want you in the back, watch those matches. And then you go and you ask, what's this? What is that? Um, and there's a lot to this business. There's a lot to wrestling. And that's just the wrestling part. Like the other part where you're selling merch and trying to be a creative character, that's a whole different beast and a whole different animal that you have to come into and understand what your market needs.
Very nice. So I'm gonna play off of that a little bit. What advice would you give for a new promotion like what we're starting?
um, so from my experience of promoting wrestling shows, because I promoted a few and I've done really well, but I'm also not a full-time promoter and booker. Um, daily content is needed. It's always, but also if you're running a particular area, word of mouth and in-person promoting is a lot better than you're doing online. Sharing something on Facebook does not really matter in the grand scheme of things because I've been in towns where it's a college or military or a nice metro area. And the only promoting that the company does is online Facebook promoting. That's not how you get things done. It will have to take legwork. It will take a street team. So you send people out there with flyers and you let them put up flyers on ice boxes. You let them put them up at gas stations. Even if the company, someone says no, you can still say, hey, could I at least put these flyers at, right here at the register? I'm not going to tape anything down, but if the people want to take them, can they take them? And you might get no's, you might get yes, but at least you're out there promoting. And don't accept, I don't want to talk right now. No, say, hey, I got this show coming up. I want to teach what you can see it. I don't really like having like dead air. I don't like people just looking at me. So I will say, hey, how's it going? Did you know there's something coming up? There's a wrestling show I'm promoting. And, kids get in free. Something like that. You got to hook them with like sell. Or if you're in a military town, it's like, hey, we got vet ticks and we're working with them and we actually give out free tickets to veterans or something like along those lines. Like it's word of mouth and doing the footwork is the better part of promoting. Anybody that does, you can just post online and share the flyer 10 times is not going to get that word out there. There needs to be people garnering interest in person. And typically, if you're booking a local guy and they're willing to do that work, it means a whole lot more than some guy you hired from across anywhere that's come in.
Right.
Because you can slap XWE or XW guy up here on the flyer, but if nobody sees that flyer, who's coming?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, Tap.
If you could book a WrestleMania card, 6 matches, any generation, any promotion, indies included, what would the 6 matches be?
That's a tall order to fill. All right, I'm going to give you let's start with the main event title match. So we're going to go with WWF title. We'll do WWE title. We'll go. Give me Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, we'll do that one I'll just do past matches and I'll put together the card. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. All right, we're going to run the tag title match. We'll run TLC 2 from WrestleMania 17. WrestleMania 17, TLC 2.
Yep.
And then we'll have Intercontinental title match. Give me Shawn versus Razor in that ladder match. No, wait, hold on. Don't want to do that because there's too many ladder matches already. Give me Intercontinental title. Ooh, man. You know what? Give me Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. That was just hard. It hurt. That was a great match.
Yeah.
U.S. title. Man. Who can I run with a U.S. title that had a great match at WrestleMania? I don't know, man. That one's a little rough. I don't think I'm going to put that on the card. I'm going to scrap the U.S. title on that one. Women's title. Let me get that 3-way. Yeah, let me get. No, screw that. Let me do a past and present match. I'm going to do Rhea Ripley versus China.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're going to just see a bunch of chopping and just people beating the crap out of each other. Yeah. Where we at? That's
like
4 matches right there. 5. That's 4. Yeah.
4.
So let me get number 5. Special attraction. I'm gonna do Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll run that one.
Now, playing off of that, I would have thrown in a body slam match challenge.
For
Omos
what? What we're
versus
gonna do?
Andre.
Omos versus, well, the thing is, Omos is a lot smaller than Andre, and like in size comparison, like yeah, they're both tall, but Andre had more weight, so he was able to handle carrying more weight. So it'd have been an easy finish there.
Yeah, Andre would have picked up Omos like it was
Nothing.
yeah. So what was the match or the moment that you kind of had your oh shit moment? You made it kind of.
There's I think there's two of them. Yeah. The first one where I said, "Oh shit, I'm here." There's a company called Southern Honor, and when I was training and just starting out, it was the be all end all. You know, the company that was hot, a lot of great production. Everybody wanted to be there. So when I hit up Dylan and Gary, I like, hey, I want to be in your Rumble, and it was during 2020, so it was a terrible time to get into wrestling, and try to get something going. But for like 3 months or 4 months, we just kept pushing and pushing promotion on me getting into their Rumble. And when I hit that stage and my music hit, the crowd erupted. Like it was 500 some people, and they just went ballistic. And just getting all that energy on the stage was just a magical moment for me. And then the other one was the first match of the All Star Special. Huck chose Sweet Caroline, and it was just like, I don't know why. I didn't really care for the song, and I thought it wasn't gonna work. But our gimmick is based on the Waffle House, which has a jukebox. It's a diner thing, and we just come out and we're two dudes that are everybody's favorite tag team because we're just every guys. So we come out in this Sweet Caroline, the whole crowd sings with us, and I'm going nuts in the ring. I'm just like yelling obscenities to Huck, saying, how is this happening right now? And it was just such a magical moment that I don't think I even came down. There's been a few moments like that where I'm just like, oh my God, I'm at the dance now. What happens? But those are the biggest moments right there.
Very cool. Okay, Tap.
All right. Your Kofi Kingston Royal Rumble moment.
It was the debut. It was the debut at Southern Honor because whenever that, I don't think I've ever had one of those where I've dodged an elimination because I've been pretty quick to get eliminated because it's not really anything magic for me to be in the match. But I've always had the grand spectacle of coming in and people expecting amazing things, even though I'm like thrown out very fast. So I would love a moment to shine in a Rumble, but it just happens. I'd love for somebody to pick me finally.
Well, I'm sure it'll happen down the line.
Maybe. We'll see.
So your top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
Top 5 female wrestlers of all time. I'm gonna go number 1, Rhea Ripley. Number 2, give me Charlotte Flair. 3, Gail Kim. 4, Victoria. And 5, Beth Phoenix.
Wow, that's a really good list.
Yeah, most of them are just my dad's picks, but it's also like they're just strong, powerful women.
Yeah, can't argue with that. All right, Tap.
Alrighty. If you could pick one person to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, who would it be and why?
One person going to the WWE Hall of Fame that's not in there right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Oh, man, I've got to figure out who's not in there. That did a lot of cool stuff in WWE, and goes in. Who's not in there? I'm trying to think because there's just so many great people that are already in that I can't really name who's not there. Yeah, give me why is Big Show not in? Yeah.
There you go. That's a good one.
Like honestly, he did such a great job with everything. Like, why is he not there?
Yeah, he didn't even complain about anything too. Where there was a lot of times he probably could have.
Yeah, I mean, he had a whole career that just did great jobs for WWE.
What's the craziest crowd you've ever wrestled in front of?
Craziest crowd? I did a frat show. There was a fraternity, and they booked a show where we were out there, and it was a lot of alcohol, a lot of drinking, a lot of crazy people out there, and it was such a wild moment watching everything go down. I didn't have the greatest match, but honestly, just being there was an experience in itself.
Well, I would imagine. Okay, go ahead, Tap.
If you could choose your one dream tag team partner from any promotion, who would it be and why?
When I started out, I would have probably chose Hacksaw Jim Duggan because we both carried American flags at the time, and it was easy like gimmick work. Tag team partner now of dream tag team partners. I mean, just give me just give me an essence. Just please, just let me tag with Stone Cold one time.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
It'll never happen, but it would just give me at least a sense of it.
So, favorite finisher of all time?
Favorite finisher of all time?
Yeah.
One that just I feel like puts everybody away, and no matter what, I'm going to give me the Tombstone Pile Driver. Whether it be Kane or Undertaker, it was just so good. You knew the match was going to be done right there. I know that like people did kick out of it sometimes, but it ended up like finishing a lot of the matches.
Well, and you have a good point because to me, what makes a finisher like one of the best of all time is like different variations they can do of it. You know what I mean?
And the 3D. Give me the 3D as well because that thing just killed a lot of people.
Yes, it did. All right, Tap, go ahead.
What advice would you give your kids if they wanted to become a professional wrestler?
Well, my son, if he ever wanted to become a pro wrestler, I would tell him one, it sucks. I hate it. Two, be ready for a lot of long nights and terrible drives. A lot of days where you're not getting paid well. A lot of bad relationships, a lot of bad people. But that little bit of 15 minutes where you're a superhero can make it all worth it. And sometimes the money's really good. Sometimes people pay you really well. Like there are some bookings where you're just like, you know what? Yeah, it'd be stupid to not take this. But yeah, to tell my son if he wanted to become a pro wrestler, it can be magical, but there's also a lot of heartbreak. So just be willing to take it on the chin and go with what you want to do.
That's great advice. Top 5 most underrated wrestlers today.
Underrated? Man, now y'all got some hard lists because I don't know about underrated because a lot of them, they just do a lot of cool stuff. Underrated, I'm going to go with Jason Kincaid because he's just a mastermind and does a lot of crazy stuff. And honestly, if you go check the man out on Instagram, he is coming up with stuff all the time that a lot of people just can't recreate. And he is a mastermind in wrestling. I'm going to say also underrated, but also like very highly rated is Rob Killjoy from the Ugly Ducklings. He's just crazy in the ring and he's a mastermind. Sal Renaro, he is amazing. He's at NWA right now. And these are just the people that I'm mentally scared of because they're just great wrestlers. And like if I'm ever in the ring with them, I already know I don't know anything, and these guys know everything around the book of what the wrestling ring can do and cannot do. And if we're going to higher levels, underrated Dolph Ziggler, and trying to think about the people that aren't really sung about a lot but do really good work. Man, last one was really the hardest. Honestly, Rob Van Dam was before his time. It was so way before his time.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Tap, go ahead.
Go ahead, Nathan. I gotta think of one.
Top 5 managers of all time.
Top 5 managers. Number 1, Jim Cornette. Number 2, Paul Heyman. Those two are interchangeable. Number 3, top managers of all time. Give me. I want to just shout out my buds. Give me Logan Chase, our former manager. I'll do Coach Mikey for number 4. And for managers that I think are going to be doing well in my top 5 managers, I'm going to send out Donald Jakes and his ministry.
Nice. Yeah, we've interviewed Logan Chase on here. So.
Oh yeah? Yeah, he's our former manager at Southern Honor. He was doing really good for us work, and he retired, but it's okay. I miss him.
All right, go ahead, Tap.
All right, your top 5 commentators of all time.
Commentators? Gorilla Monsoon. I'm gonna do. I forget his name. Michael Cole. Let me do Michael Cole number 2. Gorilla Monsoon, Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Jr. Jim Ross. Number 5, I want to throw in Vampiro from Lucha Underground.
Very nice. I love that one because I think a lot of people forget that he did commentary.
He was actually dope. I liked how he did the play-by-play, and it was just refreshing watching Lucha Underground anyway.
Oh
yeah, he was awesome on the commentating team.
Yeah, I think he does AAA as well, right? Or he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
him and Matt Stryker were an underrated like commentary team. Like I don't think they get the credit that they deserve as far as being up there on a list. So
Yeah.
um so in your opinion, do you think in today's society a character like Eugene would work?
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a honorable mention. I want to give
Okay.
a shout out to the commentary team of B Double and Gerard Bonner of Southern Honor. They do great work. They actually promote their ass off, and they do a great job. And I hope if you hear this and you clip this, I want you to please tag me and understand that I love you guys and I really appreciate the work you do. Literally. Thank you. Continue with your question.
Thank you. Um do you think in today's society that a character like Eugene that like they did in WWE would work in wrestling today?
That would be hard. Yeah, that would not work because it's it's it was insensitive for it's insensitive for this time. During the time of when Eugene came out, people did not know, they were not aware, they did not care. I know in the 90s, a lot of the understanding and laws and things that go on with people with IDD or people supported, those are when the laws and rules started rolling better in 90s. Um, so things just wasn't really catching up and people weren't aware and people aren't really privy to the internet and what they can understand. So in today's time, there's not a lot of things that can go like that. So you got to think outside the box. Um,
Right.
Not saying that he wasn't a great wrestler. The guy who played Eugene was an amazing wrestler. He made his money and he did exactly what he needed. But in today's time, that would not work.
Got it. All right, Tab, what you got?
All right. What is your favorite charity and why?
Favorite charity? Um, Autism Speaks. Because I think we have the patch, or just Huck's kids. So Huck has a kid that he, that has autism, and since I also work with people with IDD, we thought it was like good idea that we should probably get these patches and do the autism awareness. So Autism Speaks probably the top one. I don't think we've ever done any charity work for them, but it probably would be cool.
Very nice. What's your pre-match and post-match routine?
Pre-match routine, talking a lot of trash and getting into I touch my toes so I can stretch out my back, and I do my stretches, and then I quote a line from Reba, which is "Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down," which is a terrible message of a song. But for what I'm doing, being a pro wrestler, I really feel like I'm a hired prostitute giving my body for that ring. So it makes all the sense. Post match routine is coming back through the curtain, heavy breathing, and saying a lot of obscenities, and slapping hands, saying, "All right, y'all, cool. Catch me back here at the changing area. We can talk." And drink a few
And
brews. I mean, really, if I got beer with me, I'll drink a few. But since I drive like 4 hours, I can't really drink too much because my wife knows everything.
um, and you know what? I had never considered that song as like a pump-up song for like a wrestler, but you know what? Now that you said that, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, the message hit me when I was listening to it, and I was like, man, really, like wrestlers really are just kind of glorified prostitutes. We kind of just throw our bodies out there to be, you know, beaten up and ravaged by the boards and metal and like doing dumb stuff for like 20, $50. Terrible.
All right, Tab, what do you got?
All right. What kind of mark would you leave on the industry after you retire from wrestling?
I don't know when I'm going to retire from wrestling ever. Really, I can't really say, but if I have to leave one thing that I want to do with wrestling is leave it in a better place, of course. But the way I want to is to bestow knowledge and help people with the ways that I messed up and the ways that I knew worked, and help further along somebody else that could take that and run with it. Um, that's kind of a broad statement, but I would really like one day to be able to start my own school, get some guys ready, and be a mentor and let them travel and learn the things I was graciously left with. Because the mentors I have really taught me a lot, and there's been a bunch of them that have burned me, but there's a few handful of good ones that I really enjoy, and I'm really thankful that I've had.
Very nice. Of the four major promotions, so that would be WWE, AEW, Impact, and New Japan. If you had the opportunity to sign with one promotion, no questions asked, which one would it be and why?
Well, seeing that I have bills to pay and my son needs to go to school, and he's just an infant, and then I want to have a house and everything like that, I would love to have WWE. But then again, I'll also say, hey, AEW, if you need anybody in the merchandise department selling T-shirts, running a wire, I don't care if it's putting up the ring. All I need, brother, is about 30 grand a year and all my travel paid for. Please, I will take it.
That makes perfect sense to me.
I mean, hey, I don't care about being on camera. I care about having my bills paid. And a lot of the guys, and trust me, I would love to be a star, but at the end of the day, it takes a whole crew to run a production, and I'll be part of that crew, and I'll work everybody on that crew.
Absolutely. All right, Tab, what do you got?
All right. What is the craziest practical joke that was played on you?
Or that you played on somebody. I think we need to add that part to that question.
Ah, man. So we don't really do practical jokes as much as me and Jay are just goofy all the time. But I think there's been always this case where Jay will always try to get me to laugh no matter what circumstance. Um, so we're getting done with a match, and me and Jay are just quoting all these movies, all these TV shows, and all that. And I think we get done with the show, and Jay is just waiting for me outside the truck. And I went inside to go use the bathroom or something like that. Jay takes off in the car and leaves me there for a good 5 minutes. The better part about it is I had Jay's card for his debit card. And so I messaged him and said, "Hey, I'm about to spend $500 of your money unless you come pick me up." So it was basically a held hostage situation, and it was just great.
I love that because it's like, hey, buddy, you could go, but you're gonna be like $500 short by the time you get back.
I'm glad you're paying for everybody's gas for an hour.
um, if you could wrestle in another country, which one would it be and why? Maybe
I
one
would
that would
love
fit
to.
your style.
Well, there's not a lot that fit my style per se, but I would love one to wrestle in the UK. Two, I would love to wrestle in Mexico. I'm not going to drink the water. Um, Canada be awesome. And Japan would just be amazing to visit. But I think my wife and kid at home probably very upset that dad's gone.
That's a valid point.
Yeah,
All right.
they're very important to
All
me.
right. Oh, as they should be. All right, Tap. What do you got?
I can't think of anything. I think I just asked my last one. Don't forget our other sponsors.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But my last question would be, where can we find you on social media, and when's your next match?
Okay, let's start off with Facebook. You can type in "Hold My Beer Hanson," Hanson, how it reads right here on the screen. You could go to my Twitter. That is at. Did you catch me there?
Nope, we lost you. So you were at your Twitter.
Okay. Twitter, Hanson Beerman. Instagram, I don't post there because, I kind of lost the first one, so it's kind of lame doing it the second time. So there you can find one, Hold My Beer Hanson, all together one word. YouTube, you can also search up my name. There's a bunch of stuff that I post regularly. Most of the work I do is on Facebook, and you could catch the All-Star Special at IWE this Saturday. We're going to make an appearance at Southern Honor. We're not mentioned, but I'm going to go ahead and put it here anyway. I don't care if they care or not. We're Southern Honor IWE. We have a company in Florida that we go to called XIW Extreme Impact Pro or Extreme Impact Wrestling. They actually just brought in Austin Aries to start working some matches, and it's cool just seeing him and getting to work with him. Um, there's those are our main three right now. There's a lot of promotions we just pop up at GIPW, Georgia Independent Pro Wrestling. We're going to be working there regularly soon, and I would think those are the main ones. Everywhere else, just look at my Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I don't care what it is. We're going to be promoting all our stuff. You can look for Will Huckabee, J2 Strong. We're rolling deep. We're getting all the t-shirts. My pro wrestling tees, prostees.com/hold my beer Hanson. There's a Labor Day sale coming up. I'm not promoting it because I'm really tired of putting those photos together. Just imagine I put that sticker over my shirts. Bam, I got a lot of cool stuff up there. Um, yeah, and those are the main things right there. Also, just look out. We got t-shirts out the wazoo. We got shot glasses. Everything you can imagine. We sell a lot more than the other guy with just shirts and 8x10s at his table. We're hosting seminars. We can actually do them online now. They're called the Mercenary 101. It's how to sell more merch, how to make it cheaply, and be effective with your merchandise, and to create that market that you need to make an extra dollar, because wrestling doesn't pay, but the merchandise does.
That's great advice. And then our sponsors are Bruto's Pizza in Longview, Washington, Doty Gallery Tattoo in Vancouver, um, Kevin Watson at American Family Insurance. Go to him for all your insurance needs. That's also in Longview, Washington. Los Jalapeno Taqueria in Longview, Washington. El Ranchero in Longview, Washington. The CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And you can get a hold of the lady that's in charge of that on Facebook, and her name's Becky Bernhardt. Precision Power Washing, and you can find him on Facebook. And Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs, and you can find him on Angie. So we want to thank you for coming on this afternoon. It was an awesome interview.
I really appreciate y'all having me.
And we'll see you again on the 26th.
Thank you so much.
All right, sounds good. And we'll be, for our viewers, we'll be on again here in probably about 45 minutes with another interview. So be on the lookout for that. And until then, everybody have a great day.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one. Y'all want me to log off here?